wanted to talk to you a little bit about the home program here in St. Kitts that qualifies for citizenship. You have two different programs for buying real estate under the real estate option, and that is, one is where you're going in and you're purchasing property in a citizenship approved development. But now most of those are condos. They do have a few places where they have homes that qualify, but most of those are condo developments. And the other one is where you're going in and you're purchasing a house that's qualified under the home program. Now, one thing you need to understand before you purchase something under the home program is you need to make sure that that home qualifies for citizenship, and you see those papers. Don't just depend on whoever you're working through, the realtor. You need to see those papers yourself to make sure that home has been approved for the home program for citizenship, because if you buy that house and it is not approved under the home program, you're stuck with the house and it will not get you citizenship. So it's important that you know that. And there are very few homes that have been approved for the home program when you consider the amount of homes in St. Kitts. And it's taken, they just came out with this back around a year ago, March, and it took around 8 months for the first batch to get approved. We actually, we've approved a house in the home program, but it does take a long time to get it approved. So but the reason I'm telling you this is some of the best deals are actually cost per square foot are involved in the home program. Okay, so if you're looking for the best deal per square foot wise, and you don't mind purchasing maybe more than what's qualified under the citizenship minimum option amount, which is $400,000 for a condo, and if it's a house, you have to purchase at least an $800,000 house. You can't buy for under that. If it's a home, if it's not a condo and it's detached, it's going to be under the home program for $800,000. For a home that's detached, if it's a condo, the minimum is $400,000. Okay, so but like I said, in most cases your cost per square foot is going to be cheaper under the home program for the houses, not the condos, per square foot wise. Okay, not the total price, but the price per square foot will be cheaper. Okay, so this is something you might want to look at, especially if you're going to be either living here or coming here a lot. If you got a big family and you want a place that's not going to be like a closed up place, you want a lot of room, then I would advise you to pick something that's going to be comfortable for a big family. That's what I would do. And you can rent it out and get good rental on it. And remember, there's no income tax on rental income here, which makes it real nice. Now, obviously, if you're a U.S. citizen or U.S. resident, or you live in a country that taxes worldwide income, like Canada, Australia, and you're living in that country and you're paying taxes because you're a permanent resident in that country, you're still going to be required to pay taxes even on the rental income that's down here. Okay, the only way you can get around that is to detach yourself to where you're not having to pay the taxes on your worldwide income. In the U.S., it's not just leaving the country. You'd have to relinquish your U.S. citizenship. Okay. Now, there are some things you can do on earned income as far as the foreign earned income exclusion, but that has to do with earned income, not investment income. Okay. So this is how that works. So if you're looking for a place where you can get a passport as quick as 4 to 8 months, I tell you that nothing beats the fast track citizenship programs. Now, the two that have the most visa-free travel is St. Kitts and Antigua, and these two also, I think, are the best because they don't have an income tax. The other fast track programs in the Caribbean all have local income taxes, and some of them have pretty high taxes inside the country. So you need to know this before you start going out. You might think it's cheaper to maybe pay a little bit less for the passport, but then you could end up getting sucked in some really high tax laws, and then you regret it and then end up going back and then getting maybe a citizenship somewhere else. And so, I mean, this is what you got to look at. Now, You can do this too. Well, I'll make something clear to you too. You can get citizenship outside of St. Kitts in the Eastern Caribbean Union countries, and as long as you get citizenship in one, you can freely move here and stay here. But there's certain businesses that you can't do unless you're a St. Kitts citizen. So although you got free movement of travel and you can set up a business here, certain businesses you cannot set up unless you're a St. Kitts citizen, even if you have citizenship in one of those either other Eastern Caribbean Union countries. So you need to know that. This is something you really have to think about. There are a lot of things that you need to know before you make the move, and then spend a lot for a citizenship program and find out maybe you made a mistake and you didn't get what you wanted. So you need to really do some investigating before you start paying a lot of money in. I've seen some people go and they'll get a passport in St. Lucia, then they'll end up switching and want to go to St. Kitts or Antigua, and then all you're doing is you're paying more money now for a country that doesn't have an income tax to get a citizenship, and a lot of those countries just double over. It's the same countries, although St. Kitts has more visa-free travel, and also Antigua does, than the other fast-track programs. And St. Kitts has more visa-free travel than Antigua. And again, I've mentioned to people before on some other videos that if you set up a local company in St. Kitts, the owner of the company in St. Kitts doesn't have to pay Social Security on yourself. You do it on your employees, but not on yourself. It's not a mandatory thing right now, but in Antigua it is mandatory. They require you fund Social Security on top of your employees if you have a local company. There are other things too. I've got other videos on that. You can look at those other ones. But St. Kitts is cheaper too. I don't know why it is, but food prices, everything is cheaper here than Antigua. I need to find out why that is, but every time I go over there, everything's higher. Just notice that. Both places are nice places to live. One thing I want to tell you, too, if you're looking at both of these places, one way you can kind of dissect them and to see what you want is Antigua, the real estate option, the minimum is $200,000. The problem is you're not going to find any properties that are standalone villas that are not fractional units that are at $200,000. You can get one. There's one development that I know of that's got one at $250,000, and there's another one that's run by an Asian firm. The problem is the guy doesn't return phone calls or anything, and they're not billing there for about another year. And if they don't return phone calls before they bill, I certainly wouldn't want to deal with them, and then try to make phone calls after you pay them. So, but there's only one place, like I said, where you can get right at $250,000, but they don't even have a kitchen. So that's one thing. All the other ones are fractional units, or you're looking at $400,000 to $450,000, except for fractional units. And I would advise you not to get those. They're very difficult to resell. They're like time-sharing units. It's where you own a fraction of the title. And if you're looking where you're going to be forced to pay $450,000 anyway, you might as well come to St. Kitts. And the minimum in St. Kitts is $400,000 on a property standalone unit. Okay, but again, whether it's St. Kitts or Antigua, I would tell you I would not go with the fractional units, but that's up to you. I'm telling you that, and it's totally up to you to make your decision on that. These are some things I would be looking at. I would not go personally with the donation option either program. Antigua, I just checked with our lawyer that works with us on Antigua, and Antigua's they're going to give until the very last day of June to where you can get in on Antigua's old rates. Okay, now I would advise you, if you're going to be doing it though with Antigua, before they go up on the rates, and it'll be at least $200,000 for the donation option. The real estate option will not change, but the donation option is definitely going up to at least $200,000. Okay, And this is the key. If you wait to the last minute and you got paperwork that's incorrect and it's got to be sent back and then resubmitted again, you could lose that deadline date. I would have all your paperwork in before the 1st of June. That's what I would try to do. I would shoot for that date. If you don't, if you've got hiccups and problems and stuff, getting this paperwork, some of the stuff that you can't get it quick, okay? Some of the stuff you have to send off for, and you don't want to be waiting the last minute to do this. So again, the deadline date's the last day in June, and then the rate's going to go up. Now, the real estate government fee will not change, and also St. Kitts' government fee has not changed. The government fee in St. Kitts for the real estate option is cheaper than the government fee in Antigua. The difference is the minimum investment in Antigua is $200,000 for property. The problem is you're not going to find a standalone unit for the minimum amount. That's the problem. And there's only one place I know of that's got at $250,000, and they don't even have a kitchen. So you're looking at properties in the Caribbean are really going up, and it's very difficult to find anything in that price range. And so you're looking at, to get a unit that has any room in it at all, you're looking around in both places, St. Kitts or Antigua, you're looking around $450,000 right in there. Okay, so but we can help you out on either program. We deal with both of them. We deal with clients in both areas. So, and we also deal with over 100 different countries all over the world, not just these, but other countries on residency by investment too. And residency by investment, you can count on that's going to take you a long time to get there. Some cases you're going to have language requirements where you're going to have to take a language test. And the time period the government tells you in residency by investment, especially if it's in South America, the Caribbean, Central America, places in Asia, the residency program that they tell you before you apply for the citizenship, those periods are totally obsolete. The only places you'll find where residency by investment programs are pretty accurate before you can apply for the passport and get the passport are usually high tax countries, because they want your tax dollars quick, so they want to prove you quick, okay? These are places like Canada, the US, places like the UK. They're pretty, I say the US, even the US's EB-5 is not predictable. You're looking at about 8 to 12 years to get the passport. It's in that time frame. I would just tell you 8 to 12 years, but who wants to go to the US when they're going to tax you on your worldwide income? But there's a lot of Chinese going to the US, and they're going through the EB-5 program, and they're finding this stuff out after they go there. So if you're looking to get a passport quick, my suggestion is go through the fast track, one of the countries in the fast track program. Again, I like St. Kitts and Antigua best because there's no income tax. They've got more visa-free travel than the other fast track program countries. And then after you do that, then I would apply for and then move to a country for your residency by investment program to get another passport. I think you should have at least 2 or 3 of them. And if you're thinking about relinquishing your U.S. citizenship, you definitely should be looking for a third on top of the U.S. and the fast track program. Okay. Now, these residency by investment programs, as I've mentioned many times before, are going to take you a lot longer. And I've seen stuff on the internet where you can get the passport. Man, I see so much crap on the internet that's just so out of whack, where you can get a passport in the DR, Dominican Republic, in 6 months, and it's just totally impossible. You'd be lucky to get the friggin' you get your visa stamped and the cellular done in that time period. You won't get it, I'm telling you. And people that they were advertising on this other program for 2 years to get the passport. That's just totally, it's just totally out of whack. It's taking people 3 to 5 years at best to get that passport. I'm talking about getting the passport in your hand from the time you sent your original documents in. You know, this is how long it's taken there. And then when you get that passport, you're going to be really dumbified when you see the visa-free travel on it. It's awful. It's worse than Belize. You don't have any visa-free travel to Schengen countries. You're going to have to pass a Spanish test to get the passport. Folks, if you're going to go to all that trouble, go to El Salvador. The passport is a lot better, and your crime rate is a lot less. Things are working better in El Salvador. If I had to pick between El Salvador and Dominican Republic and had to learn a different language to pass a test, El Salvador is like 50 times better. And they're making just new changes every single year there. And you're having the opposite in Dominican Republic. It's a very corrupt place. It's not worth the passport. I'm telling you, you're wasting your time. I would pick Guatemala, El Salvador, places. These are the type of places I would pick over there than the Dominican Republic. If you want to know more this week, go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and just ask for some help. But I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, put it below. And don't forget the subscribe button on the right of your screen. You get new videos automatically as they come out. And I look forward to talking to you in the next video. Take care.